recognise him. 10 months. This guy's been so elusive, he's been talking everywhere, around the world. But Ron managed to tie him down, and we weren't quite sure of the date, but anyway, it's all worked out nicely for today. So I'd like to introduce, for those who don't know him, Mahbub Rahman.
No microphone, sorry. Microphone's not working.
No. It's okay. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Mr. President, fellow friends and guests. I'm just going to talk about the journey of my life. Like in the past, Shivash and Raj has done it, and Kashmir John did it a few weeks ago. So, having decided to talk about it, now I feel a bit that maybe it was not such a good idea. Please be kind to me. I'm going to talk about the culture and the society that I was born, and in the family and personal circumstances that I grew up. And also I was there during the Liberation War. Bangladesh was born out of East Pakistan, as you know, so I'll give you some snippets of that. I'll try as quick as I can. So I was born in one of the most remote village in the northernmost part of then East Pakistan, now called Bangladesh. The Indian border was just about 7 miles from my home, and the Himalayan mountain range was about 200 miles. My father never finished school. He started his working life as a goldsmith's assistant, and after a few years he started buying and selling golds himself and made some money. But possibly, I guess, not enough to open an offshore account in How did I know? Because I was in benefits of 1 lot or 2 lots of 100,000 pounds, like Mr. David Cameron, our Prime Minister. So what did my father do with the money? He bought land, cultivating land. He lived in the village, so he bought cultivating land. And I understood he gradually built it up to about 300 acres of land. He bought some houses in that town and also a few shops. The shops were rented out. So my father had a large estate. He had a large family of 2 wives and 8 children, 4 from each wife. Apart from that, he also ran a village primary school and a mosque. He was a very religious person. He did his pilgrimage visiting Mecca and Medina in his 40s, and he was a devout practicing Muslim. So yes, I had 2 mothers, both alive and kicking, living in the same house, sharing the same husband, and bitching with each other. It was not good. My stepmother was the first wife. She had 3 sons, big sons, and a daughter. The eldest or oldest brother would be at least 30 years older than me. My mom, I had an elder sister and 2 younger sisters. So my stepmother, in short, I can say that she was very shrewd and a bit of a wicked person. Somehow she managed to get her own mother living in our house, and the 2 of them, along with the 2 housemates that we had in the house, she bribed them and got in her camp and constantly conspired against my mom and complained to my dad. So in short, my mother had a very hard life, and I was very little then. So where was I? This is my father. Apart from that, he was the village leader. Everybody came to him for food, money. Daughters not getting married, any conflict or complaints. So he was busy. He had a lot on his plate. He didn't have much time for me. So we had a resident private teacher in our house, living in our house, and he was also a teacher in the primary school of my father. This is the man I can remember, the only man who took care of me and looked after me. I guess he understood my predicament that a little boy who was despised by his stepmother's family, the father doesn't have much time for him, and father also has lost control of the family, which is run by the older sons. So he really inspired me that I had to study and to make something of myself. So I can't go on for too long there. So in short, I passed my primary school exams there, and I was then transported to the town. said my father had few houses. Two of my stepbrothers lived on the houses, and another house which was along the main road, they opened a pharmacy. They were not qualified to be pharmacists, they just owned it. So I lived there in an out room. It was still part of the house, but on the outside, and I was happy there. So I realized as a youngster that my father lived in the village. My brothers didn't care for me, so I had to be my own guardian. So like the teacher who inspired me and taught me that I had to be educationally capable, emotionally stable, and to do that I had to be physically fit. At that age, I used to jog 5 miles in the morning, every morning, and I used to go to the school gym. And in a year I became fit, so much so that I became a long runner for the school and became a very good hockey player, center forward. So I did my O-level, I did my A-level, and then there was a bit of a problem. I wanted to go to the university. I wanted to do medicine.
Yeah.
And my father agreed, my stepbrother said, I should really just work in this pharmacy and not go anywhere. So I wanted to go to the medical school in the capital city, which was renowned. That was set up during the British period, followed the British curriculum, and was known to the General Medical Council and recognized by it in the United Kingdom. But my eldest brother said that will cost too much. I should go to the regional medical school in the northern region, which would be cheaper. My father didn't have the guts to override my brother, so I was very upset. One day what I did, I collected the rents from my father's shop, pocketed myself this time, and I just left home. I came to the capital city, and then I wrote to my father that unless we are going to get admitted into the medical school, we are not going to see me. So he did come. So he got me admitted into that medical, so I became a medical student.
Mahbub, can you talk a little louder, please? Can you try to be a little louder?
Okay,
Peter has a problem.
So I became a medical student in the best medical school of our country. So that to me, I liked it. I liked the dissection. I did like the exam every day. There was an exam every day. So I passed first year, second year pharmacology, physiology, third year pathology. Then I was persuaded to get involved in politics. There was political uprising in the country. Then if you remember, Pakistan had military rule for many years. And under international pressure, after 12 years, President General Yahya Khan agreed to have elections the following year. There was a lot of political activity going on in the country. There are a lot of disruptions and a lot of killing as well. Sheikh Rahman, if you remember him, he was the Prime Minister after. He was getting ready with his party for the election. You see, the university students were young and excitable. They're always used and abused by the politician for their political means. I suppose it happens on all the undeveloped countries. But the government didn't like it, the students participating. So the Governor General of East Pakistan then sponsored a new political party of students. They gave them money. The top leaders were given lots of money, guns, and 24-hour police support. The idea was that they'll create a political party who will terrorize the general mass of the students and dissuade them from participating in political activity. And that happened. We had a satellite group in medical school, and they used to terrorize us. Suddenly, late at night, they'll come and break the windows. They used to get into the room of the boys who are politically active, tear their books, burn their clothes, and so on. It went on for a while. Then, what happened? There was a national strike, and the medical college students decided to observe that strike, and they called few of us to support them. So on that day, because I was the hockey captain, I had the hockey sticks available under my control, you see. So what we did, the night before we hit the hockey sticks in strategic points in the college, and we were there in the morning to confront this group because we knew they'll come and they'll try to disrupt it. So they came, they started shouting, abusing, throwing things about, then we confronted them, and there was a fight. They are surprised that we were able to stand up to them, you see, and confront them. So we picked them up and chased them out of the medical college. And then we knew that they would come back. So what we did, we regrouped, but we couldn't find the student union leaders. They conveniently disappeared. So we went back to the hostel, and then we saw two of the boys from that group who did not live in the hostel. They were coming with us. And one of us apparently carrying something looked like a shelled out coconut. And my friend told me that was a hand grenade, some self-made hand grenade. So I just tell you, in Bangladesh, in Pakistan, the drains were open sewage drains. They're quite deep, that deep, and quite wide. And you can see the water, dirty water, and the muck flowing through. So we were standing on one side of the drain. As they were coming, the idea was that if we could come near the drain and talk to them, and somehow dislodge that thing into the water, then nobody will get hurt. So my friend was talking to him, and I just said that, oh, I have to go to the loo. So I crossed the drain, got behind him, and somehow I hit his arm, and the thing got dropped into the water. But the bugger went for it again, and he caught it just above the water. And it was a hand grenade, blew up, and he lost 3 fingers. My friend got lots of burn marks on his face, and I was behind this guy, so my body got saved, but I had large damage there, through and through tear there on the hand, and this finger was cut. Anyway, in short, he was treated and he was sent to England by the government for further treatment. I had treatment locally. At that time, I really became very frightened of my life. I was convinced that I would be killed by this group because they had power, they had guns and all that. Then miracles happened. In two weeks' time, one of the leaders, because the word got around that the group had been beaten up in medical school. So one of the leaders created many hell on the road, and the people somehow got hold of him, and they beat him so much he died on the spot. 3 weeks after, another top leader of that group was found drunk in a prostitution area, and the pimps this time had their own back and disturbed him to death. So that was good news for me, because the risk to my life was gradually wiped out. After that, of course, I became a little bit of a hero in the medical college because I was the only one who got hurt, and I became the General Secretary of the Students' Union. So I didn't do much. I did 2 things as a General Secretary there. One thing, I supported the lower class employees with very poorly squalid conditions. Sewage drains kind of leaking, sewage getting into their premises and all that. So I in the students' union, I got the superintendent to upgrade the living conditions and upgrade the toilet. That's one thing I did. So they loved me so much, they could give their life for me. The other thing I did, I met a girl who came for help to the students' union. She just got into medical college, and I felt that I not only could help her, I could even give my life for her. And she is the girl, she is the woman who still lives with me as my wife. Anyway, I qualified. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman he won the election with majority seats, but nobody from East Pakistan ever had a senior ministerial post. So Pakistani military junta sent Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. If you remember, Benazir Bhutto, her father was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. He was sent supported by 8 journalists to East Pakistan to confront Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, because he was the Prime Minister elect according to Constitution. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was Mr. Bhutto put forward as the compromise Prime Minister, but of course Sheikh Mujibur Rahman didn't accept it. He was thrown into jail with his leaders, party leaders. There was heavy political disruption in the country. Trains were derailed, buses were burned, a lot of people got killed. It went on for a while, and I was working in the hospital. 25th of March 1971, suddenly the capital city at midnight just lit up. If you remember what happened in Baghdad at the courtesy of George Bush and Tony Blair, the same thing happened in Dhaka. Gunshots everywhere. Through the window of the hospital you could see the tanks and armored cars are moving. The university hostel come just across the road, a lot of soldiers there, a lot of gunshots, we didn't know what was happening. The following day there was curfew break for 2 hours, we didn't see any soldiers, we just dared to go and have a look. We didn't have to go very far. There were so many dead bodies lying on the ground, and we heard that from the ladies' hostel there was no dead body. It was thought that they were just taken away by the army. So it went on for March till December. In September, I decided that I had to find out something about my father, mother and my sister. There was nothing, no news, no telephone connection, nothing. But the government kept publicizing that everything was resumed to normal, like transport and everything. So I went to the bus station and they said there was regular bus service to my hometown. So I bought a ticket and the following day I boarded a bus to go to my hometown. 40 miles from home, that stopped. Most of the people got off and only few people were left and they are not talking my language. I'll explain why in a little while. So the bus passing through my hometown. I saw very few people on the street. No, it was getting a bit dusty, no lights. It passed in front of my brother's pharmacy house and the doors were broken. It was all dark. In 20 minutes the bus stopped at the main stop and the driver declared that there was curfew in 20 minutes time on the road. You had to find somewhere to go. I couldn't decide what to do. Then I thought the railway station was 5 minutes walk from there. I'll go there and decide from there. So as I go to the railway station, I just couldn't believe it. There's so many people, just teeming with people, 2 platforms full. So I was standing there not knowing what to do. Then a little boy, 10, 11, came asking for money. So I gave him a fiver. Fiver was a lot of money at that time. And then I asked him the question, why so many people were there, what were they doing, what happened to the town? And he told me those were the non-Bengali peoples. Now, non-Bengali peoples are Biharis. They mostly came from Bihar during the division of India into Muslim and Hindu state, India proper and Pakistan. Most of them were Muslims, and some of them were the Hindus, they were the minority, but they were probably the poor class, so I would say they were economic minded. They were there since the country was independent. Because they spoke the lingo of the West Pakistan army, Urdu or Hindi, they became friends of the Pakistani army because they got benefits and opportunities out of that. And the Pakistan army found a ready-made friend in them and got all the information of the part of the country that they did not know much about. So before I was then started getting very scared inside that this is not good for me. And then before I knew there were 3, 4 people coming asking me who I was. As I told them, one of them didn't believe me. He said he is a spy of the Liberation Force. And then I had the identity card in my pocket. I gave it to them. They are looking. It was just going from one hand to another. Then I had to make a quick decision. I felt that my chance of surviving there in their hands, or the anger that the Bengali people killed them and then fled to India when army came into the town, and they were still being killed by the Liberation Force, guerrilla force. They're coming and killing them and getting away. That's why they didn't stay in their home and stay in the station. But I had to make a quick decision. There was curfew on the road, and if I stayed there, then I thought I was going to be brutally killed, just beaten to death. So I decided to run into the open road in the curfew, because I felt that if the army caught me, I had a chance to live. So I jumped up and got hold of the identity card and I ran. Remember, I was the long runner, so I really ran. And they were following me. So I only managed to go about 50 yards, and then the voice came through, "Stop or we'll shoot." That was the nicest voice I ever heard. I thought, please do it. So I put my bag down, I put my arms up, and I just stood there. And this guy was still chasing me. So I saw some soldiers going past me with a gun pointing at them, and they managed to get them back into the station. So I was taken to the local police station by 2 soldiers. Normally the officer in charge would be a Bengali, but this was a Punjabi, West Pakistani army major who was in charge. The guy interrogated me for quite a while. I gave him my identity card and the bus ticket, which was very good evidence. Then he was looking at that. Then suddenly I saw something in his eye, a medical condition, which John would understand, I'll say in a minute. And I took a chance and I asked him, how long have you had this? And have you seen a doctor about it? And he looked at me for a while and says, what's your diagnosis? And I said, this is a pteridgium. And he looked at me for a while, then he did that. That was hard. But he said, what it meant, what he said is, the son, you must be a real doctor. That's what the army doctor told me, what you told me now. So that was the time I felt like a real doctor. I never felt like that. Then he said that, I think I trust you now, but I can't keep you here because military police comes every 2 hours to the station to check what we are doing, and if we get somebody, they take them away. So he took me across the road and kept me with a Bengali family and said that I'll come back and pick you up in the morning. And he said that you should really go to your village house, if any chance. You shouldn't go to your town house at all. So he came back in the morning and took me to a nearest cafe. We had a breakfast. He paid for it. Then he walked me towards the end of the town. There is a river which divides the town from the village. And there is a bridge. It was protected by the army. So he spoke to the army and I was allowed to pass. And after I got to the other side, I just ran home, 6 miles. When I got within a mile, I saw a huge big Pakistani flag flying from the top of my house. So I got there, my father was just very happy to see me, but said that I can't keep you here. Military comes in, every day almost comes see me, and if there is no young man in the village. They've all gone to India, your brothers and sisters, everybody gone to India. So I didn't know what to do. I was really frightened for the experience I had. So I had to leave and I was just sent to India immediately to the house my sisters were staying. In a month, things became much more relaxed. My father was asked to employ some people and reopen the pharmacy, and he was given assurance that military will protect him. So I nagged my father. I wanted to come back. I wanted to go back to Dhaka because I was missing my work, number one. Number two, my fiancée, I was missing her as well. So in a month, I managed to come back to Dhaka. And I started working on 16th of December 1971. East Pakistani army surrendered to Indian army, and Bangladesh was born for the first time. It was liberated completely. So I think, thanks for your patience. I'll stop here on this day, and I'll tell you the rest of my coming to England on another day. So yes, thank you very much for kindly listening to me.
Well, follow that. Are there any questions?
Even Ron hasn't got a question.
Sorry? Even Ron? Mesmerised. No questions at all.
This book part 2, yeah?
Okay.
What I would like to thank... Oh, George?
What is how old were you when you started your training for a doctor? And then when you finished, how
old were you?
how old were you?
Well, it's usually 18 years of age because you do an O-level, 16 or 18 O-level, then you go to medical school.
That's
By the
answered
time
you, George.
Till around 24, then you do 2 years training.
So
Am I right, John?
all that was sort of normal. that part of your life was fairly normal then.
It's just apart from the fight we had in
Right, the
medical
fight. Thank you.
Well, there's I think an old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times.
Yeah.
And I can say that I'm so relieved that I didn't live your life. That it's a very exciting story. You'll probably see it transferred into a film in due course at some time or other. And then we'll all go and see it. I'd like to thank Mahbub for his first part of his life story, and we look forward in eager anticipation to the rest of it. Thank you very much. One thing I forgot to do, and that is for Dr. Cochran John, there's a bar of gold for you, which went along with the raffle prize. It was left by the man from the Bank of England, so
Thank you.
unfortunately it's edible and not any comments before we close the meeting?
Yeah, just a quick
Yeah, Norman.
You know, don't forget, on the table over there, there's loads of leaflets, flyers, all everything, you know, things concerning the faith. So please, take some, and if you can get some put up in shops or whatever, please give us a hand. There's loads more flyers here, so if you run out on the table, got a load more. And if we do run out, we can always get a lot more. So, that's about it. Thank you very much.
All right, don't forget the apologies book, please. If you have a later apology, please call or email me. And don't forget, it should be in by Tuesday morning. Please be upstanding for the final trust.